Good evening and welcome to the Town Board of the Town of Ossining reorganizational and regular meeting for Tuesday, January 11th, 2022. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. And then please remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And we ask that you remain standing for a moment of silence for the 17 victims, as well as 15 still in critical condition from the tragic fire in the Bronx. Thank you.
Councilmember Feldman,
Present.
Councilmember Manicchio.
Here.
Councilmember Meyer,
Present.
Supervisor Levenberg.
Here I am.
We're going to go to Supervisor and Town Board announcements.
Sure thing. I would love to. We are still very much dealing with a COVID-19 surge in our community. But thankfully, the data seems to be indicating that cases are leveling off in our area. There are currently 2,406 active cases in the town of Ossining, including both villages. And there are currently 50,293 cases in Westchester County. And although both of these numbers are higher than last week's totals, the daily number of positive cases has gone down. We encourage everyone to step up and take as many precautions as you can to reduce the spread of this virus. New York State updated its guidance last week regarding quarantine and isolation. New York State has now adopted the CDC guidance on isolation for positive cases among vaccinated and unvaccinated individuals, shortening the isolation period to 5 days for asymptomatic cases or if symptoms are resolving. Additionally, individuals who are fully vaccinated and eligible for a booster, but not yet boosted, should quarantine for 5 days if exposed to a positive case. Essentially, the new definition of fully vaccinated when it comes to quarantining following an exposure is fully vaccinated plus the booster if you're eligible to receive the booster. In other words, if you're past whatever the window is for your particular vaccine. Masks and vaccines continue to be our best protection against serious illness. Though breakthrough infections are happening, they almost always produce less serious symptoms than infections among the unvaccinated. Please get vaccinated, get boosted, and please get your children vaccinated if they are eligible. Vaccines are available at the Ossining Volunteer Ambulance Corps, and you can visit their website at ossiningvac.org/COVID-19 for more information, as well as Open Door, as well as many other local pharmacies. The Ossining School District is also hosting a vaccine clinic at Ossining High School this Thursday, January 13th, for pediatric and booster vaccines. The link to register is shared on our website and social media. Ossining may be able to host another mask/test kit distribution event this weekend, so courtesy of our state senator, so stay tuned for more information. Do you have little ones turning 4 years old and ready to start pre-K? Pre-K registration for the 2022-23 school year started yesterday, Monday, January 10th in Ossining. Review the registration requirements and get your child registered at www.ossiningufsd.org. More good news out of the Ossining schools besides registration opening up. Congratulations to the latest group of Regeneron Science Talent Search Scholars, Natalie Coleman, Rose Chiaffi, Nyasha Nyoni, Aaron Song, I do know the Nyonis and I wish I could pronounce that better, and Cameron Takmeal, all from Ossining High School. Thank you to these amazing students for filling us with pride. This Thursday, January 13th, from noon to 1 p.m., T-Town will be hosting a lunchtime chat about community composting. Learn more about our food scrap recycling program here in Ossining. We are so happy our neighbor in Yorktown Heights has also partnered with T-Town to help remove food waste from the traditional refuse stream and turn it back into gold. That's healthy soil to you. Register at www.ttown.org/events. And we have a very long agenda, so I ask if my board colleagues have anything to add to my announcements, or the announcements, I should say. Anything new, noteworthy, events coming up? Okay, so we are actually going to try something new for 2022, borrowing a tool from our friends in the Village of Ossining government, administrative reports on our town operations at every legislative session. This will be an opportunity for us to share any important updates on town operations with the board and the public to complement our quarterly departmental reports. We hope this will give everyone a better understanding of the great work our town staff does on a day-to-day basis, most of it behind the scenes. The past few weeks, COVID-19 related staffing shortages have impacted most of our departments, very unfortunately. We have been able to keep most services up and running, occasionally with staff members working from home or taking New York State COVID sick leave if they needed to quarantine or isolate. This week, New York State changed the quarantine protocols, as I mentioned, and as a result, we did have to close our Justice Court for 2 days. We anticipate being able to reopen the Justice Court tomorrow, Wednesday, January 12th, and we hope this has not been an inconvenience for our constituents. Thank you for your patience as we navigate our latest new normal, and please consider calling ahead before visiting our offices in person in case the employee or department you're looking to speak with may be working remotely. We learned some exciting news on the grant front this week. The Westchester County Department of Planning has recommended that the town receive $272,500 in community development block grant funding for the relocation of the Lewis Engel Waterfront Park Comfort Station. This phased project will take place over 2 years, and we hope to have the project complete by 2023. We will still need to wait for the county to get their final blessing from HUD, but we are very confident the funding will come through. We are also approved to use $40,000 in NYSERDA Clean Energy Communities funding for the installation of air source heat pumps at the Cedar Lane Art Center. And we hope to get that project up and running soon. And finally, drum roll please, the US Treasury released the final rule regarding the use of American Rescue Plan Act funding. The town was allocated $568,203.42 in funding, to be specific and exact, from the American Rescue Plan Act, or ARPA as we call it. And the intent is for these funds to be used towards our community's recovery from COVID. We had discussed at a town hall meeting in September a few proposed projects that this funding could cover, including funding to OVAC. Shout out to OVAC for all they've been doing for testing and improvements to sewer infrastructure having nothing to do with OVAC. The final rule does include a provision that will make the administrative burden easier on units of government like us that received less than $10 million. Wish we had received that much and we have those other things in place, but no, we didn't. So as we entangle these new provisions for our lower receiving municipalities, we will come back to the board with recommendations on how we can move forward with some of the projects we have already discussed and maybe a few others. Do my board colleagues have any questions? All right. Well, hearing none, I will ask if there is.
Wait, Dana, I have one question. So can we use that money to support the testing, or is FEMA going to support the testing?
Well, good question. So we actually did hear some good information from FEMA that they would most likely reimburse us for the costs that we had expended on testing, which was to basically make free tests available through OVAC, not the handout test, but their testing processes, and that we would get reimbursed for for the money that we had already approved to be expended, which was $50,000. If that is continues to be the case, then we are hopeful that we could continue to go through that stream for reimbursement. And if so, then we might not need to use the ARPA money to do so. If
Okay.
that's your question. Okay.
Or if we use the ARPA money, are we getting it back from FEMA and then do the ARPA
No.
rules apply to using the money again?
No, that wouldn't have, no.
No, because FEMA is very specific about not having any duplication of benefits, that you're not, receiving funding for the same thing from two different sources. So, I think we're going to have to discuss with our controller and see what she recommends, and, for the best use for these funds, because obviously with FEMA, we have to request reimbursement. So it becomes a little bit of a cash flow issue potentially. So it's just, really great news that it's a little bit more flexible now. So, the town has the ability to spend it where they feel is the best place to spend it to help us recover from the pandemic.
Perfect. Thank you.
Awesome. So up next, we have our very lengthy agenda for our reorganization meeting. And then we also have our regular meeting. So I would like to open it up to the public for comment on agenda items only. Is there anybody here in our audience, our virtual audience, who would like to be recognized with any comments on the agenda items? And seeing none, I would ask, basically, I'm going to be turning this over to Martha Kudasaka. Tonight's when the town board sets most of our policies, procedures, annual contracts, etc. for the year. There have been no significant changes from 2021 to 2022. So we are going to go through all of these resolutions now. I'm not going to comment on each one. Certainly, if any of the board members have any questions or comments, please let us know. Otherwise, let's get going on our longest agenda of the year. And thank you in advance for all the reading from our Deputy Town Clerk, Martha Kudasaka, with a little help from Maybelline over here in the form of our counsel to the town, Christy Tomadonna.
So just before we start with the resolutions, some of the resolutions do include entire policies, fee schedules, and the like. Those will not be read in their entirety. They are available on the agenda, which is posted on the website and can be accessed through the clerk's office or the supervisor's office.
Thank you for that. In that case, I'm going to turn it over for Deputy Town Clerk.
And actually, the first two items are our supervisor appointments.
Oh, yeah. So since they are supervisor appointments, I'd be happy to read them. Starting with appointing myself as de facto on all committees, to a liaison to Historic Hudson River Towns, Intermunicipal Leadership Team, Westchester Municipal Officials Association, Austin Communities That Care, Westchester Municipal Planning Federation, Sustainable Westchester, and co-liaison to the Recreation Advisory Board and to Teatown Lake Reservation. We discussed these all at our work session last week, and I'm happy to report that everybody seems to be quite content with their liaison appointments. Next up, our Honorable Elizabeth Feldman will be appointed as Deputy Supervisor, which also comes up in another resolution separately. Green Austin Committee, Austin Volunteer Ambulance Corps, Austin Historical Society, Austin Boat and Canoe Club, Teatown Lake Reservation, liaison to Village of Austin Water Department, Austin Arts Project Summer Concert Series Subcommittee, Austin Climate Adaptive Design Studio Project, co-liaison to Austin CAP, that's Community Action Program, and to Austin Chamber of Commerce. Also to Austin and Briarcliff Manor Fire Departments and to the Village of Briarcliff Manor. And I thank you for taking all of those on. Gabrielle Hamilton, Councilwoman, Village of Austin, IFCA, Community Equity Task Force, Austin Police Reform and Reinvention Working Committee, and Austin CAP. Councilman Manicchio, Austin and Briarcliff Manor Fire Departments. Interesting. Recreation Advisory Board, liaison to Highway Department, to Village of Briarcliff Manor, Austin and Briarcliff Manor Chambers of Commerce, co-liaisons to Ossining and Briarcliff School Districts, the Village of Ossining Water Department, and to Ossining Boat and Canoe Club. And Councilman Meyer to Westchester County, the Intermunicipal Committee, New York State, Business Development Committee, Ossining Historic Cemeteries Conservancy, Comprehensive Plan Steering Committee, Ossining and Briarcliff School Districts, and co-liaisons to Ossining Historical Society, to Briarcliff Chamber of Commerce, and to Ossining Chamber of Commerce. And thank you all very much in advance for all of the hard work that you will be doing, getting to know these committees better, or these organizations or governments, and reporting back to us on anything that is significantly you feel should be shared with the board. Do I have a motion to approve
So
these?
moved.
No, I don't
No.
need a motion. I don't need a motion. I don't need a motion.
I guess they're your appointments.
They're my appointments. Okay. Next up, so I move in second and I approve.
Thank you.
I vote yay. Okay. And next up, a separate and apart special resolution to appoint the deputy supervisor. And I'm now going to Martha to read that. Is that right? No, I'm still getting to read that. All right. Well,
That's also a supervisor appointment.
I appoint Elizabeth Feldman, deputy supervisor for the town of Ossining, effective January 1st, 2022. I am in favor, so I vote aye for that. I don't remember that in the past. Okay, moving right
Neither.
along.
Okay.
Next up, yeah.
Now it's me. Pardon for my voice. The Justice Court Town Constables resolved that the town board hereby reappoints the following to the position of town constables at an hourly rate of $50 to serve at the pleasure of the board during the calendar year 2022. John Simpkins, Ossining, New York. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
For a second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed?
The train station for stuck occupied elevator next 47.
Okay, are we good? Okay, moving on to our annual resolutions. Official newspaper resolved that the town board hereby designates the Gazette as the official newspaper and the Journal News as the alternate newspaper of the town of Ossining for 2022.
Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Okay. Town council monthly meeting schedule resolved that the town board of the town of Ossining hereby adopts the following monthly meeting schedule for 2022. Regular town board meetings, second and fourth Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. via video conferencing as permitted by state authority and upon such authorization terminating at the Birdsall-Fagan Police Court Facility, 86 through 88 Spring Street. Work sessions first and third Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. via video conferencing as permitted by state authority and upon such authorization terminating at the 16 Curtin Avenue Boardroom. Town hall meetings Tuesday, September 30 p.m. on February 15, April 19th, June 21st, September 20th, and December 20th via video conferencing as permitted by state authority and upon such authorization terminating at the Ossining Public Library. The work session scheduled for Tuesday, October 4th will be moved to Monday, October 3rd. The work session scheduled for Tuesday, November 8th will be moved to Thursday, November 10th due to election day.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So I just wanted to mention that I do believe, and I will confirm with Councilman Meyer, that this evening or afternoon, the Senate voted, and yesterday the Assembly voted to extend the resolution allowing boards to meet virtually until I don't know what date. Do we know what date?
It's as long, there's an executive order for the Senate and Assembly to meet virtually. And it just put it in line with that. So until that's rescinded by the governor.
Okay, wonderful. I thought it was a month, but maybe I could be wrong about that. But in any case, we're hoping it will be signed this evening or tomorrow. Council Tomadon, do you want to say anything or not? Do you have
The
anything?
executive order that authorized that was issued, I believe, December 26th. So, and it's in furtherance of a state of emergency that was issued by the governor November 26th. So the governor under state law can continue to extend those that state of emergency every 30 days. So I haven't actually seen the law yet, and I'll take a look at it, but presumably as long as the governor continues to extend that state of emergency, this will be the provision that remains in effect.
I see. Okay. So that's great information. So anyhow, we do have a caveat where we would be meeting either virtually or in person at the various and sundry different locations where we do meet, which also may end up having to get updated depending. So all COVID dependent, I would say, and executive order dependent. With that, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Okay, setting town office hours, resolved that the office hours of the town of offices for 2022 will be Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m.
Motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Okay, town historian, resolved that the town board hereby reappoints Scott Craven town historian for 2022.
All in, sorry, motion?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
We are grateful to Scott Craven for continuing to serve in this role, and he's a fantastic educator as well, and shares and knows so much about the history of not only the town, but also the village and all of us. So we're grateful for his service. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Retaining attorneys to represent the town, general counsel, resolved that the supervisor is authorized to execute an agreement retaining Silverberg Slantis LLP to provide general legal services to the town of Austining for 2022.
Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on this? Yes, how fabulous is our representation? Pretty fabulous.
Christie's awesome. We want to keep her.
Yes, we do. Okay, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Okay, retaining special counsel to represent the town, resolve the supervisor is authorized to execute an agreement retaining Stephen P. Dewey, SQPC, to provide special legal services to the town of Austining for 2022.
Do you have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Another fabulous Valerie Monastra. We're grateful for her past service and look forward to her continuing service. I don't think anybody's going to disagree with that. All those in favor?
We just did Steve Dewey.
Steve Dewey.
Oh, did I skip?
Yeah.
Whoopsie, I was reading the wrong one. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so anyway, Steve Dewey, also great. And thank you for his, thanks to him for his service. We have a lineup of greats here. All those in favor of Stephen P. Dewey, Esquire?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed?
Okay, town planning consultant Nelson Pope and Boris LLC, resolve the town supervisor is authorized to execute an agreement retaining Nelson Pope and Boris LLC as the town's planning consultant for 2022.
Motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor of the correct, this time Valerie Monastra and Nelson Pope Voorhees?
Aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Okay.
Okay.
Right.
2022 mileage allowance, resolve that wherever it shall be appropriate to compensate town officials and or town employees for mileage, they shall be reimbursed at a rate of $0.585 per mile to be paid upon claim voucher after audit approval in accordance with IRS standards.
Motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Membership in the Association of Towns, resolve that pursuant to Article 8 of the Town Law, the town of Austining shall pay the annual membership dues for membership in the Association of Towns of the state of New York for 2022 in the amount of $1,500.
Have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
I do not think that they've raised the price on for this for some time, thankfully, and I believe this year we're having them meet the annual meeting, which is coming up next, remotely. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed?
Authorization for attendance at Association of Towns annual meeting, resolved that the town board of the town of Austining hereby authorizes the following town personnel to attend the annual meeting of the Association of Towns to be held virtually February 20 to 23rd, 2022, subject to approval of their department heads town supervisor, and members of the town board, town assessor, building inspector, town clerk, and deputy town clerk, receiver of taxes and deputy receiver of taxes, superintendent of highways, town justices, town court clerks, budget officer, assessment personnel, chairman and members of the zoning board, chairman and members of the planning board, and chairman and members of the environmental advisory board, and be it further resolved that attendance is voluntary and no employees shall be eligible for overtime as a result of attending the meeting.
Motion,
So moved.
second,
discussion or questions?
Do we always have all the boards coming?
Yes.
Mhm.
Always. Mhm.
Okay.
They don't all come, but we always allow them.
Okay,
All those in
thank you.
favor?
Aye.
aye,
Any opposed?
Okay, delegate to the Association of Towns, resolved that the town board hereby designates Dana Levenberg supervisor as delegate to the Association of Towns annual meeting for 2022.
Motion,
So moved.
second,
discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed?
Alternate delegate to the Association of Towns, resolved that the town board hereby designates Victoria Caffarelli, budget officers, alternate delegate to the Association of Towns annual meeting for 2022.
Do you have a motion?
So moved.
second,
All in favor?
aye,
Hold on. No.
Animal Control SPCA of Westchester, resolved that the supervisor be and hereby is authorized and directed to execute an agreement with SPCA of Westchester for the period January 1st, 2022 to December 31st, 2022, providing for humane procedures of homeless and stray dogs and cats seized by dog control officers, animal control officers, police, and other agencies of the municipality.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
second,
In the wonderful new facility, we are so grateful for the continuing good service that SPCA offers us. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Renewal Delta Dental Insurance Program, resolved that the town board of the town of Austin hereby acknowledges that the town's dental insurance program with Delta Dental in New York will continue for the period January 1st, 2022 to December 31st, 2022 for group number 1576-0001 at a rate of $68.84 per month per employee with no dependents and $163.75 per month per employee with family coverage, and be it further resolved that group number 1576-002 shall be at a rate of $74.32 per month per employee with no dependents and $174.04 per month per employee with family coverage.
Motion,
So moved.
second,
discussion or questions?
because I think this has come up
This is
before.
vision insurance also?
This is for the dental insurance only. There are two different rates. One rate is for our management employees and CSEA employees. The other rate is for our Teamsters. These fees have also not gone up probably for the past, at least since I've been doing it for the past 2 years, our rates haven't changed. So
Okay,
we're so good.
All right,
thank you.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed?
Okay. 2022 refuse and recycle collection, whereas the town of Austin entered an agreement with Sani Pro Disposal Services Corporation for the removal of refused garbage and common lead recyclables of residential properties within the unincorporated area of the town of Austin in November 2017 for years 2018 to 2022. Therefore, be it resolved that the town board of the town of Austin hereby exercises its option to renew the Sani Pro disposal of 566 North State Road, Wyckoff, Manor, New York for fiscal year 2022 at a cost not to exceed $557,230.
Motion,
So moved.
second,
discussion or question? Thank you to Suburban, and we look forward to continued good service.
Approval of compensation plan for 2022 is all that the town board hereby approves the following compensation plan for the year 2022.
I think we forgot to vote on the last one,
Did we? No, I
Sorry.
thought we did. Did we not vote?
did we? All right, good to me.
Do we not vote? I'm sorry, let's go back and vote on resolution O.
Oh,
All those in favor?
Aye,
Aye. Anybody opposed?
thank you.
And then for resolution P, I just need a motion in a second.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Going on to page 6, resolution Q, 30 bonds. It is therefore resolved that all officers and or employees of the town of Boston will be bonded by blanket bond in the amount of $500,000, except that the following position will carry an additional 30 bond in the amount of $100,000, receiver of taxes.
Motion,
So moved.
Second.
discussion or questions? All those in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed?
Consulting engineer resolved the town supervisor is authorized to continue the intermunicipal agreement with the village of Austin to provide engineering services to the town for the calendar year 2022 for a fee totaling $100,536, $8,378.25 per month.
Motion,
So moved.
Second.
discussion or questions? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Councilman Minichia, you do know you're muted, right? Just so you know. I don't know if you knew. I'm reading your lips, but. Lisa,
Am I? Oh,
Yeah, oh, there you, now I can hear you. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Well.
Okay. Bound counsel resolved that the law firm of Orrick, Carrington and Sutcliffe LLP, 666 Fifth Avenue, New York, New York, is hereby retained as bond counsel in accordance with the fees set forth in the proposal received from Orrick dated December 28th, 2021.
Motion,
So moved.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
2022 schedule of fees resolved that the town board of the town of Austin hereby approves the following schedule of fees for calendar year 2022.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
There were a few fees that changed, not a whole heck of a lot, maybe in our cemetery. And I don't know if our building department changed or just got reorganized. I think that they were just reorganized into a
Yeah.
easier to follow
only-
for them.
Yeah, the only addition in the fees were the fees that were discussed at a work session in December having to do with parks. I think Dale Cemetery is the next resolution. And then yes, our building department recommended some reorganization of fees that were already there so that they were a little easier to follow. So we are thankful to them for their suggestions.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed?
Okay, going on to page 13, resolution U. Now cemetery fee schedule 2022 resolved that the town board of the town of Boston hereby approves the following schedule of fees for Dale Cemetery for calendar year 2022.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Yeah, I skipped ahead. Yes, these fees went up a little bit to be in keeping with the industry locally. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Anybody opposed?
Okay, now to page 15 for resolution V. Records Management Officer resolved that pursuant to section 57.19 of the local government records law, the town board hereby appoints Suzanne Donnelly, town clerk, records management officer of the town of Austin.
Motion,
So moved.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Appointment of marriage officers resolved that the town board hereby appoints Suzanne Donnelly, Dana Levenberg, and Martha C. Kutusaka as marriage officers for the town of Austin for 2022.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
I have to say, I have not performed many marriages, but Martha has, and she is like the marriage officer extraordinaire. So happy to reappoint her for the year. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Anybody opposed?
Finance investment policy resolved that the town board of the town of Austin hereby adopts the investment policy as follows. I don't think that's it.
Okay, so yeah, see it on file. wherever you like to get your files.
And
All-
also no change from last year, except a couple of contact people at our banks. Otherwise, this is the same as years past.
So do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Okay, moving on to page 19, resolution Y. Finance debt management policy, resolved that the town board of the town of Austin hereby adopts the debt management policy as follows. Do I have a motion in a second?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Finance procurement policy. Resolved that the town of Austin does hereby adopt the following procurement process, which is intended to apply to all goods and services which are not required by law to be publicly bid.
So
Yeah.
moved.
Second.
Okay, and this also has not changed from last year. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, now on to page 23, resolution AA, reimbursement of town employee business expenses. Whereas from time to time, employees incur, reimbursement of town employee business expenses. Resolved that the town of Austin does hereby adopt the reimbursement of the town employee business expenses policy as follows. There you go.
Motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
On to page 26. Agreement, New York State Municipal Workers' Compensation Alliance. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austin hereby continues its membership with the New York State Workers' Compensation Alliance for fiscal year 2022 to administer workers' compensation claims at a cost not to exceed $118,177, not including the New York State assessment fees.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Insurance renewal, New York Municipal Insurance Reciprocal. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austin hereby continues its insurance policies and coverage with New York Municipal Insurance Reciprocal NYMIR effective January 1st, 2022 to December 31st, 2022 at an amount not to exceed $152,667.14.
Motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Woo-hoo.
Moving on to our regular meeting resolutions.
Yahoo!
Yeah, we finished. We're done.
Regular
We made
meeting, Okay.
it. If my voice just goes away, I may have Christy.
Oh, you want to take over, Christy? Christy, you can take over.
Yeah, I'm happy to give Martha a break if
Thank
you
you.
want a little bit.
I think that's a good idea, since we don't want her to be totally speechless tomorrow. That'd be awesome.
Okay, regular meeting, board resolutions, approval of minutes, regular meeting, December 14th, 2021. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austining hereby approves the December 14th, 2021 minutes of the regular meeting as presented.
Motion,
So moved.
Second.
any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed?
Or abstain.
I think
Oh,
Mr. Manicchio should, because he wasn't actually on the board at that time.
good point. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so he will abstain.
Oh, yes,
Okay.
I will abstain, yes.
Awesome, thank you.
Approval of voucher detail report. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austining hereby approves the voucher detail report dated January 11th, 2022 in the amount of $290,081.65 for 2021 and $280,872.70 for 2022 for a grand total of $570,953.72.
Motion?
With the typo removed, that 2021 is still in there.
Oh, thank you. No, 2021. Oh, I see.
No,
Dated.
there's, yeah, with the date has
I
an
see
extra.
that extra
For
20.
the year 2021, right?
Yes, friendly amendment. We'll get rid of that second
Yes.
year.
But yes,
Okay.
we are operating in 2 years still. So that's why it's
Toward
split.
fund- Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Okay, so do I
All
have a
right.
motion? Do
So motion as amended.
I have a second?
Second,
Any discussion or questions?
Ouch.
All those in favor?
We did go a
Aye.
couple weeks without a voucher
I have to
detail.
abstain again, right?
Say it again? Do you have to
I have to
abstain?
abstain one more time?
No,
I don't think so.
No?
No, because we're spending the money this
Okay.
year. Okay. So
Aye.
all those in favor, is that everybody? Okay,
Aye.
okay.
C, personnel promotion, motor equipment operator, resolved that the town board of the town of Austining hereby promotes John Orlando, Putnam Valley, New York, to the position of motor equipment operator at an annual salary of $90,897 effective January 1, 2022.
Motion.
So moved.
second,
So this and the next resolution refer to two of our highway department employees. John and Mike have been effectively serving in these positions for a few years now. We are adopting this resolution tonight. They're cooking something spicy in my house and it just like made its way up here.
Oh,
We are adopting this resolution tonight to clean up paperwork with Westchester County Civil Service. Thank you, John and Mike, for your service to the town. It is much appreciated. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor?
aye.
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 Anybody opposed?
Resolution D, personnel promotion, motor equipment operator, resolved that the board of the town of Austining hereby promotes Michael Blanco, Hopewell Junction, New York, to the position of motor equipment operator at an annual salary of $90,897 effective January 1, 2022.
Motion?
So moved.
second,
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Personnel promotion, bus driver, resolved the town board of the town of Austining hereby promotes Edmund Banta Austining to the position of bus driver at an annual salary of $55,722 effective January 1, 2022.
Motion?
So moved.
second,
Known to us as Eddie Banta. He's been working for our senior nutrition program for many years, and we are very happy to have the opportunity to promote him this year into the title of bus driver. When we receive our new fully electric bus for the program, hopefully soon, Eddie will be the driver. We thank him for his dedicated service to the town and to our wonderful seniors. Questions or discussion? All those in favor?
aye,
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Personnel appointment, chauffeur, resolved that the town board of the town of Austining hereby appoints Luis Dudan Austining to the part-time position 17.5 hours per week of chauffeur at an hourly rate of $15 effective January 12th, 2022.
Motion?
So moved.
second,
We are so happy to be welcoming Luis Dutan on board. He is a member of the Austining Fire Department and a longtime resident of Austining. We are sure he will fit right in and be a great addition to the team. Comments, discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 aye,
Anybody opposed?
Personnel appointment, food service helper, resolved that the town board of the town of Austining hereby appoints Murillo Pinto Austining to the part-time position 17.5 hours per week of food service helper at an hourly rate of $15 effective January 17th, 2022.
Motion?
So moved.
second,
So we're also adding Marilu Pinto to Team Town. She has experience working with seniors at Kendall on Hudson and is an Austining resident as well. All those in favor?
Aye.
aye,
Aye.
Did I have a motion? Did I do a motion? In a second? I can't remember. Okay, thank you. Anybody opposed? Thanks.
Town of Austining Community Development Advisory Group Representative, resolved that the town board of the town of Austining hereby appoints Jackie Shaw as the town of Austining representative to the Westchester County Urban County Consortium Community Development Advisory Group.
Motion?
So moved.
second,
So Jackie Shaw may be off the town board, but we couldn't let her go too far. When Richard Wishney informed us that he wanted to step down from his role as the Town of Austin CDAG representative, we asked Jackie if she might be willing to continue to represent her community in this important way. Luckily for us, she said yes. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Anybody opposed?
Reappointment Board of Assessment Review, resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Austining hereby reappoints Larry Shucktel to the Board of Assessment Review for a 5-year term to expire September 30th, 2026.
A motion?
So moved.
Second.
So Larry Schachtel has served on the Board of Assessment Review for a number of years, many, I believe, and when his term was up in September, we asked him if he was still interested in serving another term, and he said yes. Larry's been a dedicated volunteer and a sound voice on the bar, so is sure to be an asset to the town for another term, or the BAR as they like to call it. Not to be confused with the Bar Association that Christy Tomadonna is a member of.
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed?
Call for public hearing, Meyer Riviera Cabaret License 2022. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Austining hereby calls for a public hearing to be held in the matter of the 2022 Cabaret License for Meyer Riviera Bar and Restaurant, 518 North State Road, Briarcliff Manor, New York, 10510, on Tuesday, January 25th, 2022 at 7:30 PM at the Bergzoll-Fagan Police Court Facility, 8688 Spring Street, Austining, New York. However, if the state extends the authority to hold town board meetings remotely, the public hearing will be held via video conferencing only, with the login information available on the town's website in advance of the meeting.
Motion.
So moved.
Second.
Annually, some of our eating and drinking establishments apply for a cabaret license, including Meyer Riviera on North State Road. Their application has been reviewed by the Austin Police Department and our building department. So the next step is to hold a public hearing before the town board considers the application. Councilor Donna, do you have anything to add?
No, just to revert back to the conversation we had earlier about the method of meetings. We did notice this because we weren't sure at the time that we put the agenda together what we were going to be able to do in terms of virtual meetings. So it is noticed currently to be held at the police court facility. However, in anticipation that the law will be extended to allow remote meetings, it will be held in that same manner.
Thank you. All those in favor? Aye.
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 Anybody opposed?
Call for public hearing, local law number 1 of 2022. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Austining hereby calls for a public hearing to be held in the matter of a local law to amend Chapter 180 of the Town Code taxation regarding veteran real property tax exemptions on Tuesday, January 25th, 2022 at 7:30 PM at the Bergzoll-Fagan Police Court Facility, 8688 Spring Street, Austining, New York. However, if the state extends the authority to hold town board meetings remotely, the public hearing will be held via video conferencing only, with the login information available on the town's website in advance of the meeting.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We discussed at our work session last week this proposed legislation to expand the exemptions for veterans in the town of Austining. Our council is preparing a draft local law for the board's review, and we will open the public hearing at our next legislative session to get the ball rolling. Councilor Donna, do you have anything to add?
No, this, like you said, this is something that was discussed with the assessor, Fernando Gonzalez, and I will be working with him on putting together a draft local law for the board's consideration, because this is certainly his area of expertise. The intent is to increase the exemptions that are available to veterans based upon the assessed value of their home. So in addition to preparing a local law, I believe that the assessor will be providing the town board with some additional information as to what those would look like in real numbers, to the extent possible. So it's just the beginning of the process, but because it's a local law, there will have to be a public hearing. And so it'll give the board the opportunity to additionally hear from the public before you decide if and how you would like to proceed.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Anybody opposed?
Memorandum of Understanding, Westchester County CAPI, resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Austining hereby authorizes the supervisor to sign a memorandum of understanding between the Town of Austining, County of Westchester, cities of Peekskill and White Plains, villages of Hastings on Hudson, Irvington, Austining, Pelham, and Tarrytown, and the Hudson Regional Council for the purposes of receiving grant funds to advance the Westchester County Climate Action Planning Institute, CAPI, and establish the Town of Austining as a Westchester County CAPI participant.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So the town signed on to this CAPI grant, which is an intermunicipal grant, basically, when it was applied for in 2019. And the county team is finally ready to get started. The town now needs to agree to this memorandum of understanding to fully participate in this exciting program, which will help the town develop an updated greenhouse gas inventory and learn from our partners in local government. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed?
Amendment to license agreement with Austining Boat and Canoe Club. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Austining authorizes the supervisor to sign an amendment to the license agreement with the Austining Boat and Canoe Club to extend the expiration date of the agreement to December 31st, 2022, and set additional terms of the agreement for the 2022 calendar year, subject to approval by council to the town as to form.
Motion?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Second.
So the town's license agreement with OBCC was set to expire at the end of 2021, but we are hoping to enhance our relationship with OBCC for the next long-term license agreement. And we did not want to rush those conversations. We are extending the terms for another year to give us the opportunity to have those thoughtful conversations very soon in advance of next year. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Anybody opposed?
Sorry. Memorandum of Agreement, Local Blue Solutions LLC, resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Austining authorizes the supervisor to sign a memorandum of agreement with Local Blue Solutions LLC, 100 Main Street, 813, Austining, New York, 10562, for services relating to the town's comprehensive communication strategy, community partnerships, and community equity task force for 2022.
Motion,
So moved.
Second.
questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Thank you.
Proposal Nelson Pope Voorhees LLC, resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Austining approves the proposal submitted by Nelson Pope and Voorhees LLC for professional services associated with the feasibility evaluation for the consolidation of parks and highway services at a fee not to exceed $13,800.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So we've known for some time that we need to plan for the future of our highway and parks operations for both departments. Do not necessarily currently meet the needs that we have in either one of their facilities. Our town planner, Valerie Monastra from Nelson Pope Voorhees, has developed a proposal to help us with this initial analysis in addition to her regular work for the town. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Anybody opposed?
Of the Town Board of the Town of Austining authorizing the adoption of the 2022 Westchester County, New York Hazard Mitigation Plan update. Whereas all jurisdictions within Westchester County have exposure to natural hazards that increase the risk of life, property, environment, and the county and local economy. And whereas proactive mitigation of known hazards before a disaster event can reduce or eliminate long-term risks to life and property. And whereas the Disaster Mitigation Act of 2000, Public Law 106-390, establishes new requirements for pre and post disaster hazard mitigation programs. And whereas a coalition of Westchester County municipalities with like planning objectives has been formed to pool resources and create consistent mitigation strategies within Westchester County. And whereas the coalition has completed a planning process that engages the public, assesses the risk and vulnerability to the impacts of natural hazards, develops a mitigation strategy consistent with a set of uniform goals and objectives, and creates a plan for implementing, evaluating, and revising the strategy. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town of Austining, 1, adopts in its entirety the 2022 Westchester County Hazard Mitigation Plan, the plan, as the jurisdiction's natural hazard mitigation plan and resolves to execute the actions identified in the plan that pertain to this jurisdiction. 2, will use the adopted and approved portions of the plan to guide pre and post disaster mitigation of the hazards identified. 3, will coordinate the strategies identified in the plan with other planning programs and mechanisms under its jurisdictional authority. 4, will continue its support of the Mitigation Planning Committee as described within the plan. 5, will help promote and support the mitigation successes of all participants in this plan. 6, will incorporate mitigation planning as an integral component of government and partner operations. 7, will provide an update of the plan in conjunction with the county no less than every 5 years.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So we heard from our
Question.
we heard from our town planner Valerie in November about the Westchester County Hazard Mitigation Plan update. The town participated in this planning process along with many other Westchester municipalities, and now each jurisdiction needs to adopt the plan in order to take full advantage of the grant benefits associated with having this plan in place. And you have a question, Councilwoman Feldman.
Yeah, will it be Valerie and or her company reporting, keeping track of the reports due and reporting?
Keeping track of the, anything, you're saying anything that happens here in the town, it depends what it is.
Well, we'll provide an update of the plan in conjunction with the county. Will
That's the county
coordinate with-
would initiate that process. So similar to this is every 5 years, this plan needs to be adopted. So similarly, the town adopted the 5-year plan 5 years ago, and then the county initiated the process to renew the 5-year plan. So I think the town's role from this point in terms of any sort of regular reporting is somewhat limited, I guess, unless we do receive grant funding associated with some of the projects that were identified or some of the efforts that were identified. And then there may be some, reporting requirements associated with that. But I think that particular reference, unless there's, another item that you're referring to, is, more of a general process that the county would initiate at that time.
Okay, yeah, just will coordinate. So, yeah, okay. I'll keep an eye on it. Thank you.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Anybody opposed?
Resolution authorizing town assessor to grant exemptions on the 2022 town assessment roll. Whereas on November 26, 2021, Governor Kathy Hochul issued Executive Order Number 11, declaring a disaster emergency for the state of New York due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And whereas the COVID-19 pandemic has resulted in reduced staff in town offices and rendered senior citizens and individuals with disabilities particularly susceptible to the virus, making it difficult for many in these populations to file their real property tax exemption applications in person, and many further lack the ability to file such applications online. And whereas Governor Hochul issued Executive Order Number 11.1 on December 26, 2021, extending Executive Order Number 11 and also modifying provisions of real property tax law to permit the town board to adopt a resolution authorizing the assessor to grant exemptions on the 2022 assessment roll, and also to all property owners who received such exemptions on the 2021 assessment roll, i.e. senior citizens and individuals with disabilities with limited income, thereby dispensing with the need for such persons to file renewal applications to request such exemptions, and further dispensing with the requirement that the assessor mail renewal applications to such persons. And now therefore be it resolved, pursuant to the authority granted by Executive Order Number 11.1, the town board of the town of Austining hereby directs the town assessor to: 1, grant exemptions on the 2022 assessment roll to all individuals who received the senior exemption on the 2021 assessment roll, and all individuals who received the exemption on the 2021 assessment roll because they were recognized as a person with a disability and limited income, thereby dispensing with the need for any such individuals to file renewal applications for such exemption. Except that 2, the assessor may, in their sole discretion, require a renewal application to be timely filed with their office if they have reason to believe that any such individual who qualified for the aforementioned exemption on the 2021 assessment roll may have since changed their primary address, added another owner to the deed for the relevant property, transferred such property to a new owner, or died. If the town assessor requires such renewal application be filed, they shall notify the owner of the subject property of such requirement by regular mail, with such notice advising that said renewal application may be returned by mail or by making an appointment to drop off same at the Town Assessor's Office, 16 Croton Avenue, Ossining, New York, 10562.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
I'm glad we're at the end of all our long resolutions because I think that now our
Both
council.
of them are worn out.
Her voice. Okay, so due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Governor Hochul has authorized municipalities to allow these exemptions to essentially renew for the 2022 roll. We're hopeful this will make the situation a bit easier for these vulnerable populations, and we are grateful to the governor for offering this option again this year. Questions or discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? And Mark,
Monthly-
oh, go ahead.
Sorry, you want to go back? Martha?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, since your
Oh.
voice is almost gone, we got two more, but go ahead, Mark.
Okay, I'll read that one. Monthly reports. Result of the town board of the town of Austin hereby accepts the following monthly reports for the month of December 2021. Tax receiver, town clerk, highway department, and supervisor's office.
Motion,
So moved.
second,
all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Aye.
Next up, we have visitor recognition. So anybody who is here that would like to be recognized on any subject whatsoever, we will accord a 4-minute opportunity to speak. Anybody here to do so, please raise your virtual hand. And seeing none, I would ask for a motion to adjourn to for advice of counsel and personnel.
So moved.
second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you so much for joining us. We will be back next week with a work session on Tuesday, January 18th. Although the current law that allows us to hold these meetings virtually will be expiring, as mentioned, we do anticipate that it will be extended and our next meeting will also be held virtually, especially given the situation that we're currently in. Should that change, we will share it on our town website and email blast so the public knows how they can view our meeting going forward. Of course, you can always watch it after the fact on YouTube, and you can get there on our website. Have a wonderful night, everyone, and we look forward to seeing you back here on Zoom. Fingers crossed that will happen soon. Bye-bye.
Good night.